half of us are already like settling down, getting married, having kids, and then some of us, there was like 2 unknown calls on one day, and then the next day there was 1 unknown. It's been a long time since our last Get Ready With Me, so let's catch up. Not much has changed with my makeup routine. I'm still using the CC cream from It Cosmetics as my base, and if you know something that does what the CC cream does, please let me know, because I am obsessed with the way it makes my base look. So I'm just gonna go in, and I usually do, I would say, 1 layer of the CC cream before I go in with a foundation that I use now. I only use the foundation when I'm going out for special occasions. How have you guys been? It has been quite a journey for me. Recently, actually just looked back at the video and I'm like, girl, I felt so sad, but I was like, little does she know, so much has changed, and that was just a little bump in the road, you know? Like, there is so much more, and I feel like I'm really, really in a good place right now. So I like to blend down into my neck just because I have this like fear that my face is not gonna blend with my neck. So now I'm gonna go in. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. They do have a new formula now, which looks like this in the packaging. But they did send me their foundation that was the old formula way back, and I'm just trying to go back and forth and use each one because I really still feel like I do notice a difference in the formula, but I'm just trying to use up this and not let it go to waste, basically. They're mowing the lawn outside of my window right now, so I don't know if my mic is picking that up. But so I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown foundation right now, and that is my base. Dating in your 20s is such a nuanced feeling, just because half of us are already like settling down, getting married, having kids, and then some of us can't even find like a decent person, you know what I'm saying? There's such a variety of experiences that you could go through at that time in your life, but it's also probably the most pivotal time in your life because you are learning about yourself at the same time. And I remember for me, so I'm in this Facebook group called Subtle Asian Women, and it's such a wholesome like group to be able to like share and ask for advice. And a lot of the times I see questions in there from younger girls that are in relationships, and I think back like, wow, like if only when I was younger I had a bigger sister or someone that would be able to advise me or give me some feedback on what I was doing with my life, because growing up as an only child, I did not really have that. And I think everyone's family is different, but specifically with me, with Asian parents, we don't really discuss anything about dating or how to detect red flags. And I guess it's not expected to get that sort of talk from your mom or your dad, but at the same time, it's something that is important for girls to really understand. And now I'm really realizing that yes, advice is important, but at the same time, I think I understand why people say you really have to experience it yourself and learn from it. Because for me, I always approach dating as like, oh, that's gonna be my person. Like, I'm only dating to marry. I'm not here for any like sort of temporary fling or anything like that, which everyone is different, but that's what I believe in. And at the time, I remember feeling like I actually didn't know what I wanted or what I expected in a relationship, but I feel like I had a good sense of it. And looking back when I was 19, like I did not know anything at all, really. And my preferences and my expectations now are far different. I think one of the things I remember specifically was being afraid to speak up. And that's something that I guess I feel like I'm more passive about as a person, regardless of whether it's in a relationship or not. And so when, you come into a relationship with that trait, I feel like it's just easy to not have strong boundaries, which is very important when you're dealing with communication and making sure you're comfortable on both parties. I remember thinking like I really didn't want to come across as being a really picky girlfriend. Like I wanted to be the easygoing girlfriend, the chill girlfriend. And I didn't really understand to what degree that would be. So I didn't even realize that I was letting my boundaries essentially walked on. And I think that's something I'm starting to realize that it's actually quite a common issue with girls, is just, oh, I don't want to be seen as being like super picky or like being super like micromanaging girlfriend. I want to be chill. But at the same time, like it is important for you to speak up when you're not comfortable with a certain situation, and your partner is supposed to be there to validate your feelings and work together with you to come with a solution that will resolve that. My brows lately, I've been loving I don't know if I showed this in the last Get Ready With Me, but the Romand brow fixer. If I did use that in that last Get Ready With Me, I'm still on the same bottle. It's really good. I feel like I should start getting a new one, but I just feel like it does something to my brow hairs, because my brow hairs are pretty, although they're sparse, they're pretty long. And I feel like it just sits in place, you know? Another thing I see a lot that me and my friends have talked about is manifestation. And I truly think that manifestation does do its thing, you know? Like just writing down, or even I like to make in my notes app like a manifestation list of what exactly I'm looking for, whether it's my goals or my relationship. It's just something that I like to mentally note and keep track of. And I honestly believe it really does work, because it makes you believe in something that's like physically there in front of you. And a bit of manifestation and a bit of timing does everything. I really think timing, having patience and just allowing things to come to you is something that's really powerful. And I'm going in with the Dip Brow by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have used this for years and years, and I don't think I will ever change my brow product. I'm going in with the brush in the number 20, I think. And it's a really nice, like, flat, round-ish, oval-ish, I guess, shaped brush, which is really great for the inner, like, start of my brows. I feel like it just gives that, like, natural shape. And then once I blend it in, it just fades really beautifully. I'm not the best advice giver. I feel like a lot of other people can speak more eloquently than me, but I feel like I'm at a good place in my 20s, like late 20s, where I am super sure in what I'm looking for, and I'm not going to settle for anything, which is another thing. I feel like a lot of girls think that this is as good as it gets, and to a certain extent, a lot of times I think that's how you enable like bad situations to continue. The fear of trying to put yourself out there is what's holding you back from your happiness. So that's my take on it. And yes, it is something that takes time as well for you to really gain the courage to just be by yourself, be on your own. I feel like another thing is, for me, realizing the importance of having your own friends outside of a relationship, because yeah, things are great when you're together, but I think it's important for you to have your own sense of self, and that also helps like prevent any sort of, what am I thinking of? Codependency. It sprouts when you don't really have your own sense of self outside of the relationship. And I really noticed it a lot when I was younger, just because you're a lot more impressionable when you're younger, and so you kind of grasp onto the person or concept that is giving you the most like happiness and excitement. But in reality, you do really need your sense of self, because that allows you to grow and realize what your likes and dislikes are. And you can't really have that if you have your thoughts and feelings already spoken for or decided for. And that happens a lot in codependent relationships. I think the dating realm has changed so much now. Like, a lot of people do feel like they're losing hope, like they would much rather meet like organically. But the truth is, it's so hard to meet people now, especially during that COVID quarantine era. It was just super hard to get out and meet people. Dating apps are nice and all, but I do more often than times than not see really bad experiences from dating apps. And I think my only advice is just to take it lightly, because the truth is everyone else is probably taking it lightly too. Like, I remember being on Hinge and seeing like all these profiles, and they're literally just memes. Like, one guy had a 2-page job resume of himself looking for a job on Hinge. And that's how unserious people are taking the dating apps. So a lot of people put a lot of expectations and hopes into meeting the one the first time around in the apps, and most often than not, that's probably not going to happen, because there's a lot of creeps out there. There's a lot of weird incidents or ghosting that happens, and I feel like you're just gonna let yourself down if you do that to yourself, and just have a lower set of expectations. Take everything, not seriously until it becomes serious. Then you can start to build that trust and really just let yourself feel all the feels. I'm going in with this MAC Crystal Avalanche eyeshadow, which I religiously use literally every day. I'm starting to hit pan finally as a highlight for my inner corner and under my brow. I think this eyeshadow is actually discontinued, but hopefully I'm able to hang on to it a little longer, because after this I'm gonna actually have to look for a good like matte eyeshadow. This is like matte, but it's also like a highlight kind of. There's a bit of a sheen to it, but it's not shimmery. So if anyone knows a good alternative, let your girl know. I had my own creepy Hinge incident before I met my current boyfriend. So yeah, let me tell you what the tea was. So basically, hold on. I'm using my Shiseido curler, which is perfect for monolid Asian eyes because it sits really close to your eyelid compared to Western lash curlers. So I love this so much. And what I like to do is just curl close to my lash line, and then I take it out a little, curling it until I get to the edge of my lashes, and then that just allows it to curl extra curly. My natural lashes stick down straight because of my monolids. But then I go in with the Etude Dr. Mascara Fixer, and I run this on as a little primer before I use my actual mascara. I feel like this gives my lashes a better hold than normal. My lashes, they need a little extra help, they can't really hang. I'm going in with the Hairline Make. This is the waterproof mascara, which I love. And we got a little on the lid, and that's okay. We're just gonna wipe it off. I also got these pointed Q-tip sticks, which are perfect for makeup, like way better than the normal Q-tips, I feel like, because it gets really in there. And then I like to go in with my Press and Go. I'm using the Minnow lashes, and these usually you don't really need any lash glue or anything like that. I found that I really like putting mascara on first and then sticking these under my lashes, and it just gives it an extra boost, and it stays on really well. My Hinge story was, it was my first time ever using a dating app ever in my life, and it's kind of stupid because I did not know any dating app etiquette at all. And so one of the first guys I matched, he actually asked me for my number, which is the first red flag because you should never give your number right away before talking to someone and getting to know them on Hinge. So I gave my number and I thought this is normal, right? People ask for your number, start texting. It was fine until one night he called me at like 1 a.m. And mind you, I was already in bed, like pretty much asleep. The next morning I texted him. I was like, hey, was that like an accident? And then he was like, oh yeah, like I accidentally fat fingered, lol, my bad, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, okay, that was weird, but I kind of let it slide. And then the following night, he calls me at like midnight and I was getting ready for bed. So I was like, hey, like, why don't we schedule a call? Because I'm not really near my phone a lot so that I don't miss your call. Let's just schedule. I was like, yeah, some people like to, call just in case before the first date to make sure they're like real, And so we scheduled a call for the end of the week at like 3 p.m. I remember it was like a Friday or something. And then lo and behold, I was running errands on Thursday, the day before. I was literally at the eye doctor getting my eyes checked, and he calls and I obviously couldn't pick up while I was in there. So then he leaves a message and he's like, LOL, it was intentional this time, but it's cool. And so I'm like, what is going on? Didn't we schedule a call already? I don't know what he's doing. The following day comes and it's time for the call and I'm a little nervous and all that. So I'm just waited for the call, and then a few minutes came and he still didn't call, and I was like, okay, maybe he's late. So I gave it like an hour, and then my friend was like, he's like giving you a little too much hassle here. I think you should just let it go. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, like literally this whole situation has been weird enough with all the random calls after we scheduled a call. So then I blocked him. Then after that same weekend, there was like 2 unknown calls on one day, and then the next day there was 1 unknown call, and I was with my friend at the time, and she was like, that might be him because you can apparently call with your number hidden. And I'm like, what? Like, this is also new to me. On Hinge, I had a message from him and he was like, hey, is your phone okay? I tried to like contact you, but are you okay? Is your phone okay? And then I told my friend that, and she was like, oh, like you can unmatch people on Hinge, right? I was like, what? Because I didn't know. I was like, oh, like I thought once you match them, you just stay matched. At this point, I was like really creeped out. The fact that the unknown calls kept coming. And so I just like deleted Hinge and everything. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm a dating app girly. I'm just gonna meet people organically, and that's how it's gonna be, I guess. I think like I waited like a month later, and then I was like, maybe I should hop on again just for fun. Of course, like, because you can block numbers on Hinge, so I ended up blocking him ahead of time just so we wouldn't be in the same mix of algorithm again. And what I've been loving lately is curling my lower lashes. And I feel like it really does make a difference before you apply mascara to them. And it just makes it more defined, as you can see there. And there is such a difference between the two. Before and after. But yeah, pro tip, that is not how to rizz up a girl because she will be freaked out. But I definitely have seen and read about much, much worse Hinge situations. So it's scary. Definitely gotta be on the lookout and stay safe, and always keep your location on if you're going out on those first few dates for the first time. And I definitely learned, never to let them pick you up from your place or drop you off, even just like knowing where you live and getting in a car with someone you've never met before. It's just really scary and really unsafe. So preferably, if you can, just sort of like meet up with them there, get to know them, and then eventually, if you find that they're a good person and you trust them, then definitely allow them to pick you up and stuff. But just be safe, err on the side of caution, because you never really know. I'm really glad that that was the only scary or creepy experience that I've had on Hinge. I just feel like being intentional and just allowing the right time to come. There is someone for everyone. But also I do realize and recognize that your 20s are supposed to be messy, and you know, everyone has their own different preferences, so don't be afraid to have a little fun with exploring like what you don't like, and that's the only way you'll know that you're not settling. I still like to do my aegyo. The only thing I do is just the aegyo like line, and then I do brown shadow just to emphasize the shadow, but I don't really go all out for it. I do think it makes a difference for my eyes and makes it pop out a little bit more. This widens it up a lot. It's how I do it. And then it's a little too dark, I just use my Q-tip thingy. Oh, I need to get a new one. So much Q-tip because I go through it so much. I like the pointed ends because it's very specific as to where I need to clean it. It's a little too dark, but I think this looks okay. And then I'm going to go in with so the dark one was the one I used for the aegyo line. And I kind of use these two as the outer corner shadows, and I kind of I should have done this before my mascara, whoops. I usually do this before my mascara, but I got too busy yapping. Kind of go in with the white matte. If anyone knows if there's like a singular like white matte shadow for K makeup, because a lot of times they only come in sets, and yeah, I'm looking for something similar to, but this one doesn't really have a shimmer to it. It's just flat matte, but it's still nice because I do want some lightness over here. Then I'm going to this NYX Buttermelt bronzer. Oh, I forgot to mention this was the 3CE Style Nanda palette. This is probably the lightest shade that they have. Sides of my forehead and my temple. I used to contour my cheeks and my jawline, but I think over time I just kind of stopped because it was a little too harsh and I was getting lazy. And sometimes if I don't want to take too long, I just use my sponge. For blush, they do have a buttermelt blush too, which is super pigmented. I learned that the hard way the first time I was applying it. I usually go back and forth between, I've been loving this Bobbi Brown one that they sent me. It's the Pot Rouge for lips and cheeks. Incredible. I love 2-in-1 products, multifunctional ones. It's creamy, so I do apply it with my fingers, but I also love the 3CE Style Nanda one, which is a powder one, and I'm about to hit pan because it's so good. I think I remember using this in the last Get Ready With Me. I think I'll use the Bobbi Brown one. I'm just going to blend it in with my fingers, and it's just this really nice kind of like sun-kissed pink. And I have used it on my lips before. It's like a really nice like soft pink look. So quick and easy. Sugar Glow Kit from Anastasia. And yes, Gumdrop shade is still cracked and broken. I'm using Starburst a lot, so that is why I'm keeping this palette. It's not very travel friendly though, so I am looking for just like a one compact highlighter. I'm just gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, which they sent me a sample of from Sephora, and I love it. I think I'm gonna buy the full size when I'm done with this, or maybe the small size because it's easy for travel, but it smells really, really nice. And I noticed that it blends my makeup at the same time too, if that makes sense. Two products I've been loving lately is this lip oil, which I got gifted by Richie's mom. And then this Clio one I picked up from this K-beauty shop in Katy, which is a bomb, but it's so hydrating. I really love the packaging, and I feel like it really doesn't dry my lips out. It's in the shade Honey Peach, And lately, I've just been really going light with my lip products because when I pack on lip products, my lips get too dry, like it gets all flaky. So I just stick with the basic like lip balms now. And look how pretty it is. So I am using the Hot Tools. I think this is the, I'm kind of bad with which size this is, but this is my first time curling my hair with darker hair that I dyed it to, so I'm curious to see how it looks. So I kind of just curl away from me and hope for the best. I'm doing my best, okay? We're going to keep curling in small sections all the way around, and I will finish off with the bangs. Okay, low-key, I actually like my curtain bangs like this. This is literally, I've done nothing besides take it out of those rollers, and it falls flat really beautifully, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. But I think once I get on this side, I will have to curl my bangs up just a bit. So this is the finished product, and oh my gosh, it looks so good curled, and I can't believe how much shorter my hair looks when it's curled. It was like crazy long. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of Moroccan oil to my hair towards the ends. And honestly, my right bang is not cooperating at all, but my left bang looks fantastic. All my life, I've had bangs on my left. I had a side part. So now when I try to do the curtain bangs, it just never listens at all. Here's the finished look. Thank you for tuning in to the Get Ready With Me and listen to me yap about some relationship life phases of mine. I'm so glad that I am in a happy and healthy relationship right now, and I've honestly been thinking if you guys would like a origin story yap about how we met, because honestly, it's kind of really a unique story. If you haven't already, I did post a TikTok tidbit about how we did kind of meet. I don't know if this is interesting for people to listen to, or would you just rather see me eat food and travel the world? Hopefully I'll get to see you guys in the comment section down below. I'd love to see more of you guys and chat with you guys, because I'm really interested in seeing who subscribed to me and like why you're here and where you're from. I really missed that part about having my live stream when I'm gaming, just like being able to meet people from all over the world. I'm touching my hair so much, oh my gosh. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and hopefully see you guys down in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next video.